So finally, the vision desire mapping thing is complete, and this is what it looks like. Yes, it seems it's busy, but the whole idea is for me to be able to see the steps I said I will take for each thing I desire to do every day. And I put it on the wall in a place that I retire to every night. Yours might be in your bedroom, yours might be anywhere, just somewhere where you make sure that you see it every day. Because when you see this every day, it tells you where you need to put more time or where you're slacking, and make sure you see it every single day. Yes, it's important to put it where you will see it every day. And why is that important? That's because that's exactly what the Bible was saying when it said, write the vision, make it plain, so that he that runneth with it, that seeth it, can run with it. Because when you see it every day, it reminds you of what you need to do in order to get to that goal. And yes, is it possible to achieve it? Yes, it's possible. And because we're human, it's possible at the same time not to achieve it. And that's why you're not going to run this race by yourself, so to say, because the Bible tells us in Philippians 4:13 that I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. So you need to commit it into God's hands. That's the first thing. You need to commit this race, this goal achieving thing into God's hands, because you can't do it by yourself. That's one. Also, the Bible tells us in Proverbs 3:5 and 6, it says, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. Yes, you have put this all on paper. It's your own understanding. He says we shouldn't lean on that alone. He said, put your trust in him and he will direct your path. That's the later part of verse 6, that the Lord himself will direct your path. So it's not going to be by your power or might, but if we commit these goals, these desires into God's hands, it will help us. It will teach us. Even all that we have written down, it will teach us on how we can actually achieve it. And then interestingly, I'm also a real estate consultant, and I was in a coaching class. Yes, the coach also needs coaching. And I was in a coaching class in Keller Williams because that's where I work. And we were in this coaching class, and they told us to read some books. And one of the books we were asked to read was Atomic Habits by James Clear. And as I was reading this, I was like, oh, wow, this is exactly the same thing I've been talking about for the past 3 weeks, because it was talking about forming habits and how you go about it. And he said something that really resonates with me. And that is what I want to leave with you today. He said that goals don't fail because people just fail to achieve the goals. But goals fail because we fail to put the systems in place to achieve that goal. And that's exactly what I've been talking about. That it's all right for you to want to achieve all the goals in the world, but you have to put a system in place to achieve these goals. That's all I am saying. And I want to encourage you, if you do have time, try and read that book, Atomic Habits by James Clear. I've been listening to it on audiobooks because that's the best way for me to get books read, because I have a ton of books I want to read this year, and that's how I go about it. And I assure you that after reading that book and what we've been talking about for the past 3 weeks, you'll be able to resonate with it better. And I'm sure by his grace, like I said, by his grace, that's God's grace, then we will all be able to achieve our goals for 2023. Have a blessed week.